So in nature, like physics, direction is set at the very beginning. I mean, think about this for a second. An airplane that's just 1 degree off at takeoff doesn't notice the difference right away. But at the end, it's going to miss its destination by miles. And the same principle applies to the day of every man. In fact, most men don't lose control of their day at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. We lose control of our day in the first 3 minutes of the morning. So today, we're going to talk about the first and foundational discomfort, the discomfort of an intentional start. Let's do it. What's up, my brothers, and welcome back to Limitless. This series is a continuation of a conversation we started in the cave. It was a conversation about what it actually takes for a man to live a powerful, purposeful, and limitless life. And we're not talking about someday. We're not talking about when things slow down. We're talking about right now. Now, this is something that really matters for most men because whatever you grab first is going to quietly hold the steering wheel of your day. If the first thing you grab is your phone, well, your phone is going to rule your day. If the first thing you grab is, stressful reactions, then your anxiety is already in charge of your day. And if the first thing you do is react to something instead of move according to a plan, then your circumstances are in control of your day. And this matters because powerful men don't build powerful lives by constantly reacting. Powerful men build powerful lives because they lead, starting with themselves. Now, the Bible gives us great language for this. Proverbs 25:28 says, a man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. I like this verse. It's in one of the poetry books, but it's not poetic. It's more diagnostic, kind of like homeboy who works at the auto shop that tells you why your car's smoking. He's looking at it and saying, well, there's a reason why it's like this. And in this verse, the writer compares a man who doesn't have any self-control in his life to a city without walls. Now, a city without walls isn't necessarily under attack because the invaders look at it and can tell that it is inherently weak. I mean, from the outside, they don't know if there's strong people inside of it or weak people inside of it. No, the reason that they choose to attack this particular city is because it's unguarded, has no walls. And when we start our day without intention, without a plan, we're just like this city and just like this man. We are living a life with no walls. That means no boundaries. That means there's nothing that can prevent something from taking over the direction of our day. Anything can walk in. Distraction, comparison, anger, temptation, stress, or most of the time, somebody else's priorities can walk in and take over our day. And that's not where we can afford to live if we're trying to break limits in our own life. No, we have to begin as many moments as possible with intention. And the best place to start that is first thing in the morning. So for those of you who know me and those of you who are getting to know me, I have a dog. He's about this big. I mean, he's like smaller than a football. And his name is Denzel, specifically Denzel Washington. And yeah, I named him after Denzel Washington because he's my favorite actor. That's my guy. But Denzel has one of these movies out where he plays a character named Robert McCall. The movie's called The Equalizer. And there's this scene, and I think it was actually on the trailer, to where Denzel walks into this room. And when he gets behind closed doors, he looks around and there's all of these guys. I mean, they are armed. They got knives. They got guns. They got bad attitudes and bad intentions to match, right? And Denzel realizes that he's going to have to take all of these things on if he's going to survive the day. But before he steps into all of this chaos, the first thing he does is he creates some calm. He has a woosah moment. And before the pressure hits, he locks in. He doesn't rush. He's not reacting. He doesn't let anyone in the room decide what's going to happen first. He plans his own first move, and the rest follows from there. Fellas, this ain't a movie moment. This is a perfect picture of what self-leadership looks like. See, a powerful man decides his posture long before the pressure shows up. That's why we're talking about choosing the discomfort of an intentional start. Now, for those of y'all who are perfectionists like me, listen, let's clear some stuff up. See, an intentional start isn't about a perfect morning routine. It's not a productivity hack. You can find 1,000 of those on LinkedIn. It's definitely not about getting a whole new system of rules and becoming real robotic or just making everybody in your house miserable because, dad has a plan. No, that's not what it's about. An intentional start is simply knowing what deserves your first response and choosing that response and that thing on purpose. Why does this matter? Well, it matters because your first response is really a unanimous vote for what matters the most in your day. Now, life be lifing, and there are going to be days where your first response is going to need to be one thing over another, and those things may change. So I'm not trying to lock you into this mode where I'm like, your first response has to be this every single morning. That's not what we're talking about. I'm just saying your first response needs to be an intentional one because the men lose control of their day because they just simply don't decide what the first response is. They just let something else decide it for them. So here's today's discomfort. I want you to begin this week by choosing intention over reaction. I want you to choose intention over reaction. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, it's going to feel uncomfortable at first because if you haven't been doing this, you've kind of just been letting the day unfold as it unfolds. But discipline is always going to feel more awkward than reaction. But I can tell you it's going to be the best decision that you'll ever make because choosing how your day starts is where the power to steer your day and to steer the rest of your life begins. So let's start this thing off right with a few questions so that you can target your efforts for the next 7 days. Question number 1. This is just one of those ones you just take a personal inventory. You do what I call a gut check. Here's the question. Number 1. What has been getting my first response lately? Here's another question. Maybe this one will help you kind of dial in it a little bit better. What has been steering my mornings? Is it purpose or is it pressure? Okay, some of y'all still ain't getting it. All right. We're going to bring it to 2025, 2026. Here we go. If someone came into my house with their iPhone and they recorded the first 10 minutes of my day, what would they say got the most of my energy? And whatever comes to mind first, fellas, this is the place where your biggest growth opportunity is waiting. I'm going to do it too. And once we figure that out, for the next 7 days, let's choose one intentional action to start our day instead. Just one. You could choose prayer. You could choose planning to start your day. You could choose silence. Some of y'all go to places where it's just chaotic where you work, and you might need this moment of silence just to stay sane through your day. Somebody might choose to start their day with scripture. I hope somebody starts their day with movement. By movement, yes, I do mean roll out the bed, hit 10 push-ups, or hit some jumping jacks, or walk around the block, or do something, right? And here's a good one that anybody could do, and it would help. Gratitude. Just sitting there and thanking God for all the things that he's given us and all the things that haven't happened to us too. For the next 7 days, I want you to choose one intentional action to start your day. Just one. Not all of them. Just one. And then I want you to defend that one thing like it's the only thing that matters, because this is what I promise you. Just starting this habit of choosing the way your day starts is going to begin to build some boundaries around what's most important to you. And that, my friend, is going to protect the pathway to success. This is how we choose the discomfort of an intentional start. Because powerful men don't just start their day, they set their day in motion. I'll see y'all next time on Limitless, and we'll get into discomfort number 2. Peace.